So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. It's a pretty exciting day because the new tractor's on its way. It should be here in what? 20 minutes. So before it gets here, let me show you guys what I went and picked up yesterday down in Athens, Tennessee.
Hold it. All right. That's like the paperwork from Nancy. Make sure he can unload it with the skid steer. So it needs to be turned.
All right, friends, on the trailer, we have two new attachments for the tractor and Mr. Cotto. I went down to Athens, Tennessee yesterday, like I was saying, to visit Ironcraft. That's their headquarters down there in Athens. And I picked up a brand new 6-foot bush hog. This is going to go on the new tractor. I may run this on the 754, but it's primarily going to be used on the new one. It's got a slip clutch right there. I'm not sure on the gearbox on the PTO range. They said this would fit my tractor though. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. That's a really nice heavy duty bush hog right there. A lot of people call them brush hogs. It's the same thing. And a lot of you guys get a kick out of this. These are made in America. Made down in Athens, Tennessee. Can't beat it. And right here beside it, friends, is something I've been wanting to get for a long time. This is a properly rated grapple for a skid steer, and this will be going on Mr. Cotto. It's also made by Ironcraft. Now, for those of you that are interested, the model number on this brush hog is a 1206. It's got a slip clutch PTO shaft right over there. And something I really like right here, guys, is that little plastic tube. Inside of that, you'll find your owner's manual. That's real handy to have because you always got it with you. Friends, I've not run a bush hog for probably 13 or 14 years. I had a Kubota tractor back about 2010. I had a bush hog on it, and I sold that tractor with the bush hog. I've not had one since because I've really not needed one. I can't wait, guys, to hook it up to the new tractor, take it over to the new property, and start cleaning up that field behind the barn. Friends, it's finally here, the new tractor. This is a TYM 5835. So here's a nice machine, guys. I'll tell you what, I've been looking forward to this tractor for about maybe 2 months now. I think that's when we ordered it, about 2 months ago. The first time I saw this tractor was back in February at the Louisville Farm Show. And I've had my eye on it since, guys, to be honest with you. This is a really nice tractor. My buddy Daniel over at Arms Homestead over in Oklahoma, over on that YouTube channel, he got this tractor over the summer, and he has nothing but good things to say about it. This is a very nice machine, guys. Man, it sits up pretty high. A lot higher than the 574 did. So some important, I guess, information on this tractor. It is made by TYM. It's a 58 horsepower. This is a TYM diesel in this machine. The bigger tractor has a Deutz diesel, and my smaller T25 has a Yanmar. The engine of this one is actually produced by TYM. Now the loader has a rating for the lift capacity of 3,400 pounds. The 754 is 3,300 pounds. This thing is rated to lift more than my bigger tractor. That's really nice. That's one of the draws to this tractor for me was the loader capacity. That's really nice right there. The 3-point hitch capacity is 4,400 pounds. This tractor, guys, is the real deal. The real deal, I'll tell you what. Let me bring you guys in closer and I'll show you some of these specs. All right, guys, where do we start? Let's talk about the tires real briefly. These are R1 agricultural tires. I did have the dealership over at Oneida put fluid in the rear tires. That added a weight of about, I think they said right at 900 pounds with both tires being full of fluid. And I'm not sure if they use rim guard or beet juice or what they use over there, but it's well worth it. It costs about $500, but it gives you an extra 900 pounds of ballast on the back of your tractor. That's real important, especially when you're doing a lot of loader work. So we talked about the capacity of the loader right there. We got all the hydraulic lines going to the loader. Let's talk real briefly about this joystick right here. This is aftermarket. This is a Long, I think that's the way you say it, maybe RL Long is the name of this specific brand. This is an aftermarket third function that I had put on this tractor by the dealer. As you can see right there, you got your buttons for your third function that will run your grapple or whatever you have hooked to the third function on the front of the tractor. This tractor does not come with third function. You can get this with a diverter valve, which works fine, but I prefer a third function or a true third function over the diverter valve. This cost about $1,000 extra installed. RL Long, I'm pretty sure is the brand, and it came with this joystick right here. The factory joystick is different than this one. Then right here on the loader is your third function hookups right there. All right, guys, we're back here on the rear of the tractor. This is a category 2 3-point hitch. If you're not familiar with that, there's a 0, a 1, 2, and a 3, and I think maybe a 4, but I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me. This is a 2, and that's rated for the kind of implements you will run off the back of your tractor. So right here at the bottom is the drawbar. Right there above it is the power takeoff. It's got a little rubber cover over it right now. Right here you have your side arms for your 3-point hitch, and they do telescope out right there. That's a really nice feature. You have the top link that I will be replacing with a hydraulic top link. Right here is the rear hookups. 2 sets of hydraulic remotes. When you think about hydraulic remotes, 2 of them equal 1. So if you got 4, that means you have 2 sets of them. That's really nice to have. So over here, guys, is why this tractor, in my opinion, has such a strong 3-point hitch. Like I was saying, the capacity is 4,400 pounds. Look at these cylinders right here, and they're external. I've never seen a tractor of this size and this horsepower range have external cylinders on the 3-point hitch. Look at the size of those. Got one on both sides. That right there, guys, is impressive. And to close it out, you do have a sight glass right there for your hydraulic fluid. And one last thing, you have your slow moving implement tag on the back and a little toolbox right there above it. All right, guys, coming around the side, we got our diesel tank right there at the bottom. Got your steps going in. Something I really like about this tractor is there's nothing in the way of the cab area, so you can enter the tractor on either side and not run into any kind of joysticks or anything. You got a side mirror right there, and you also have 2 splash guards for mud. I'm pretty sure that's what these are for. Right there, you can see that glass? That keeps all the mud and stuff off of your feet and out of the cab area whenever you're plowing or whatever you're doing. So right there is the gear shifter, and this is pretty cool, friends. It has a clutch button right there on the side. So if you want to change the gears, you don't want to push down the clutch with your foot, push it with your finger. I've never seen that on a tractor either. Guys, this is something I'm not really used to. This tractor is a power shuttle, which means right now this is a neutral, okay? If you want to go forward, you go forward. Reverse, you pull it back. So what that means is, friends, when I'm going forward, if I want to go backwards, I don't have to push my clutch. I just pull that back and I'll start going backwards. This is called a power shuttle, and I've never had a tractor with this, guys. A little bit of a learning curve right here. For you guys out there that have a power shuttle, what do you all think about it? This is my first tractor to have one of these. The 754 does not have it. You have to clutch it to go in forward and reverse. I think I'm going to like this a whole lot better. Some of y'all may be wondering, why did you sell a tractor about 2 months ago and you bought a new one? Well, when you own a small business, you have to take advantage of tax benefits on buying equipment every few years. You have to sell equipment and buy new equipment to get those tax advantages. If you don't do that, you pay a lot more taxes. And I pay a lot of taxes already, so it's kind of a game that you play with the IRS. And it's all legal, don't get me wrong. It's all legal, trust me. There's nothing I do here that's illegal, especially when it comes to my taxes. I actually pay every quarter, and I overpay every year. Every year, I always overpay. But when it comes to equipment and you have a business, for you guys out there that have a business with equipment, you know what I'm talking about. If you buy a new piece of equipment every few years, you get a tax benefit from that. And that's real important, because you buy a new piece of equipment, you depreciate that equipment over 3 to 5 years. And once that's done, most people sell that piece of equipment and buy a new one to start that process all over again. It's just the way it is with business, guys. It's just part of it. Looks like this engine has 1 hour on it so far. 1 hour. A lot of you all will appreciate this. I know we talked about it earlier, but to lower and raise the 3-point hitch, you can do it from the cab and also by this push button right here. Check this out. Let me know down in the comments how this audio sounds. I got you guys mounted to the loader with this little wireless microphone. Friends, something we didn't cover on this tractor, it is 4-wheel drive. I don't think I touched on that. There's a push button right below the ignition. We're gonna grab a few things right now, guys, and go over the new property and see if we can fit this tractor in the new barn. That's real important right there. I may have to put the ropes bar down on it, but it should fit. All right, guys, I think it's gonna be a tight fit, but I think it will work. We'll definitely have to lower these ropes bars right here. That slides a lot better since I put the WD-40 on the track. Somebody down in the comments scolded me for using WD-40 for that. What else you supposed to use? Grease, maybe? That worked just fine. Not sure what they meant by that. All right, guys, it looks like we're gonna be in good shape. Plenty of room on the width. We'll lower those bars and it should fit right in here. I may have to get rid of that light. It's not even hooked up to anything. I was going to unhook this light, but I ran into a small problem. Let me show you guys. Looky there, that light, which we have no electricity down here right now, has been welded to that C-clamp right there. That is redneck ingenuity 101 right there, guys. When you hear that term, that's what they're referring to. A C-clamp welded to conduit, which is hooked up to a barn light. My goodness, that is not proper. Put down the rollover protection bars and it should fit as far as the height goes. Hopefully this will be easy. Looks like you pull a pin right there. We got a small problem. All right, guys, in order to release it, you pull a pin right there and you pull that out. That one was easy. This one over here, I'm gonna need some tools because when they bolted this on at the factory, that washer caught that pin right there. That's no big deal. I just don't have any tools down here to loosen this up so I can pull this out. But the biggest question has been answered, and that question was, will the tractor fit in this barn? And we got our answer. Should have no trouble fitting in the barn. I was gonna leave it down here for tonight anyways, because in the morning we're gonna hook the bush hog up to it, and they're not calling for any rain for the next few days, so I was gonna take it back up to the house, so tomorrow we can start bright and early and put the brush hog on it. And we may come down here tomorrow and do some brush hogging on this fence line and see how the brush hog performs. But the main question I had, guys, was making sure it would fit in this barn and there's no trouble there. And I'm going to need some tools also to get rid of that light that's welded onto that C-clamp. I think it will hit me in the head if I back in right there. So that's another problem we have. But I don't have any tools with me. I need to put me some tools in this tractor, so I always got something with me to work with. And I had a toolbox on the 574 that mounted to the loader arms. And I kept that toolbox when I sold the tractor. Let's head up to the house and see if it fits this one. You guys hang in there. If you guys only knew how much I appreciate finally having a proper pole barn, then you would know why I've been walking around smiling for the past few weeks. I've been needing one of these for a long time, especially for storage. Because even though I don't smile in these videos a lot, I do smile a lot. Just not when the camera's running. Let's head up to the house and see if the toolbox will mount to the loader. I think it'll work, which means it probably won't.